How are you, YouTube? I'm going to show you an earnings name I like tomorrow, and we're also going to review another one as well. All right, we're going to go live on Facebook. Good. In the announcement window, Jack. We're good? All right, we're live. Ladies and gentlemen, pre-earnings analysis, T-Mobile, and VWAP Reversal. Were you able to see my P&L so far this month and why it's actually going to increase substantially yet again? It is not coming from a place of cockiness. It's not coming from a place of overconfidence. In fact, it's just, for me, simply logical. We're going to explain exactly why I feel that way. We're also going to show you a new way to approach the VWAP reversal. I am Mark Melnick, and this is the Newsbeat Show. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Newsbeat Show. We have so many great things to talk to you about today, share with you today, go over with you today. Did a very cool video earlier. There's a link in the description to Newsbeat Show number 456. I highly suggest you go take a look at that whenever you do get a free chance. And it goes over the type of market environment we're in and why news flow is actually dominating the current environment. As you remember last week, I was able to show you a P&L done with a cost basis, a very low, nice little $44,000 gain from October 1st to the 18th. And then, of course, I had one more week and was able to hold on to $75,000. Now, one of the things that I do want you guys to really notice is I don't care about the total gain so much. Look at the cost basis differential. See how we went from 444,000 last week to 570,000 this week. That basically means on $126,000, I was able to make another $31,000. So for every dollar I put in the market gave me 25 cents in return for every winning and losing and break-even trade that I had last week. So my cost basis percent rate is actually increasing. I think it's important because you have to realize that you can do this with a very small account value. And for people who don't understand the cost basis, just to quickly go over, and then I'm going to go over pre-earnings analysis, so much more by watching this video. You are agreeing told me, Mark Melnick, and T3 Live, harmless and not responsible for anything portrayed on this video. Okay, I want to explain cost basis to you guys because a lot of people are coming with small accounts, and you see the talking head gurus like myself coming out with, numbers that that are above average, let's call them. You see, like, I'm, up 75 grand for the month so far. The month is still going on. I am telling you confidently, just like I told you last week, that this number is just going to keep increasing exponentially because the market tends to be very cyclical. So news flows tends to come in really boiling hot and then it simmers down and then it gets boiling hot and then it simmers down. And that is just the way the market works. If consistency is what you're after, there's no better place than to learn it here. And I'm hoping to show you a little bit of that, show you the VWAP reversal, and show you my earnings. So you probably are not going to see it in many places unless you're watching this video right now. The absolute best free earnings Wall Street has to offer, the free earnings analysis that Wall Street has to offer. I record every single one of my ideas that I go on record with. The name that I'm going to be going on record today is T-Mobile. They're reporting, I believe, either after the bell tomorrow or before the open 2 days from now. It will be T-Mobile long. That will be the name I'm discussing right now. And I don't know what price it's going to close at tomorrow, nor do I know where it's going to open on earnings, so I can't fill in these blanks. But just to give you forward thinking, we're going to go ahead and go over that right now. So very simple. T-Mobile, everybody's heard of T-Mobile. They're doing the deal with Sprint and whatever. 10 technically, I think this is a very strong chart. The stock has been banging against upper Bollinger Band resistance. The stock will be reporting, I believe it's Monday after the close. And this is the one name I'm actually picking. I'm actually going to go over Google earnings and Beyond earnings as well. Again, watch my prior video. I went over Beyond earnings ad nauseum, telling why I'm like it and I'm bullish into earnings. I also took a position on Friday that I plan on selling probably tomorrow before the report. Anyway, so on T-Mobile, they reported on their last earnings report $1.09 to 97 cents expected. They were light on revenues though, 11 billion versus 11.13 billion expected, and that was back on July 25th. And they reported right here, and they opened up, about what was that? About $1.20 higher right here before spiking up another 4 points and then pulling in. Here's why I like it. They raised their EBITDA to 12.9 to 13.3 billion, while the analyst, excuse me, not the analyst, well, their consensus was 12.7 to 13.2 billion. So they raised the bottom end by 0.2 billion, $200 million, and the high end by $100 million. That shows that they're still planning on growing. I will tell you, whether this Sprint deal goes through or not, they are making a ton of money. They are making an absolute, um, just an absolute killing. I mean, you look at some of the names that are affected by the U.S.-China trade war, and this isn't one of them. T-Mobile, they don't really care about the U.S.-China trade war. It doesn't have a major impact on their business. People are still using cell phones here in the U.S. Did the U.S.-China trade war make you get rid of your cell phone recently? Probably most likely the answer is absolutely not. But taking a look at T-Mobile here, you have the all-time high that was made on the day of after they reported on Friday, July 26th. They hit $85.22. The stock is a little bit below there now. The market has been going higher. I don't see anything negative coming out of T-Mobile. Last time they were a little bit light on revenues. Not a fan. Again, I'm taking the fundamental analysis from the company and what they're saying, and I'm combining it with the chart, and I'm creating an ultimate product that is just really unbeatable. And again, honestly, if you asked me 3, 4 years ago, I wasn't really into this sort of stuff. I'm constantly growing as a trader. I'm constantly bettering myself and understanding more and more to bring you guys this content. So slap the like button right now if you enjoy what we're doing here. With that being said, I will go officially on record and say that I'm bullish in T-Mobile. Now, there were some names that didn't make my list that I'm very bullish in. Now, Shopify, I am phenomenally fundamentally bullish on it. So you might stop and say, well, Mark, I see I could have made 34,000 following your names, yada, yada, yada. Why aren't you putting yourself on the line with Shop? Well, it's technically bearish. That is the issue. So what I've been trying to do is I changed up even though, mathematically what I'm doing is very successful, more successful than, a lot of the paid services you'll find out there. And again, this service is absolutely free just for being a Newsbeat show watcher. What I did here was as of Intel, I started combining technicals with the fundamental analysis. So all these names up here, like how we called eBay short and Twitter short, two absolute monsters. Maybe you didn't hear about the fact that we did that. Two huge home runs. If you walked in, short eBay and Twitter, I mean, I don't know if you guys remember, it was actually, eBay got obviously decimated there on earnings, as did Twitter, just absolutely decimated. So let's go back to Shopify. Now, why didn't I put it on? Kind of a bearish setup. And you know what? I feel for the company here because, the company started doing offerings to raise money. Now, do I think it was a good idea for them to raise money? Honestly, I do, because this is the way they're going to continue growing. This is the way they're going to continue growing, because honestly, if they didn't raise the money, Wall Street would look and say, you're growing slowly. Why aren't you investing in new things? That's why you have to offer shares on the open market to raise this money. And the stock, ever since the last earnings report, which we did very accurately call bullishly, we were very bullish on the last earnings report. A lot of us played it. We called it over here. Stock closed at 317, opened up at 333 and ran to 350, and then eventually ran to almost $410, dropped all the way to $286, and now is digesting here. I just want to point out, 317.88 was where we called Shopify bullish last time, and we have a video on it. Just go back to July 30. Just go back to, I think it was July 30th. We did it the day before they reported. Just go back to July 30th, 2019. You'll see our bullishness in Shopify, where we accurately predicted they're going to crush the numbers. I still think they're going to crush the numbers. The fact that you raise more money on the open market and sell off is not indicative of your growth. If you dump some shares on the open market and you raise money to further invest in the company, yeah, sure, the stock price will go down, but that's not weakness. That is just the company investing in itself. There was a time, again, I've been trading actively for 20 years. There was a time where companies would do this stuff, and even if they sold off initially, they would pop up much higher after because Wall Street was viewing this as bullishness. Look at the dot-com era when all these companies who couldn't produce a dime in their business, were in fact hemorrhaging hundreds of millions, maybe sometimes billions of dollars, needed to raise money. They would just dump shares on the open market. I think one of those companies, if I'm not mistaken, was Google and Amazon. How did that end up working out for them, right? So again, just going back to Shopify here, I think they're going to destroy analyst consensus view. I think they're going to raise their fiscal year view for either 2019 or 2020. I see them beating across the board. The only reason why I didn't call this bullish, it's very close, depending on what we do tomorrow. So for example, if we're up like 15, 20 points tomorrow in Shopify, I'll officially be bullish on it, but I won't be able to do a show till that night. So just for on the record, I will not be calling Shopify long, but if I had to pick, extremely fundamentally bullish, just not technically bullish where I wanted it to be. Google, absolutely phenomenal earnings last time. Google is reporting. Again, very bullish, very, very, very bullish in Google here. Let's just go over their last report real quick. Wow, a lot of news on Google, right? Okay. So they announced $14.21 a share, which beat the analyst consensus of 11.30. 38.94 billion versus 38.15 billion expected, and I just want to show you what happened. This was the earnings. The stock closed at 11.35, and it literally gapped up like $93 before running up well over $100 on that Friday. All the way back here, you could see it was a tremendous thing. My biggest issue with calling why aren't you calling this one bullish officially on your chart? For the record, why aren't you putting this one on the record, Mark? Because they don't offer guidance. And I'm sort of, even though I don't think they're going to be, report nothing short of amazingness. I'm kind of interested to see how these congressional hearings are going with the company. There's some lawsuits that came out of Google. Nothing that would drag down a company of this size, but it could slow it down just a little. Again, I'm phenomenally bullish on Google. If I had to choose a direction, it would be up, but not putting it officially on the record. So again, again, just so we're very clear, officially on the and Beyond, just real quick, I have a very in-depth analysis on Beyond on my last video. I highly suggest you watch it. It has so many amazing things. We actually talk about just some phenomenal emails. One brought a tear to my eye. If you want to actually just see what it is, this is the email that brought a tear to my eye. Somebody saying, Mark, thank you, thank you, thank you. I also share an email that shows somebody who failed with me early and only found success later, and it was a very important email. Again, go back, watch Newsbeat show number 456. It is in the description of this video. Okay. Now I want to talk about the VWAP reversal. I want to explain it in a different way. And what I'm trying to do here is I want to do several, you might say, Mark, you did several videos on this. The power of what I do here is I need to resonate my message with you and resonate the explanation. Because no matter how many ways I teach something, there'll be a minute group of people who it didn't resonate and click in with. I am very guilty of that. Sometimes I need something hammered in my head 20 times, but by the time I get it, it's like downloaded completely and I'm, ready to execute upon it. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to actually give several methods of teaching using several different ways so I can resonate with the majority of the audience. So if you're not understanding the VWAP reversal 110% clear, 110% perfectly, this will be the right video for you. Now, why is the VWAP reversal important? A, it's statistically amazing. What does that mean? Statistically amazing. Like, what is it? Statistically amazing? Mark, that sounds weird. All right. It's 81.5% effective for the month of September 2019. That number is actually going higher. That number is actually going higher this month. That number is actually going higher this month, I believe. Again, the month's not over, so I won't give you the numbers for it yet because I want to see how this weekends to give you an official number. It's a very simple explanation. So I was going to use a name we called on Friday for a VWAP reversal long, and of course that is the ever so psychotic Amazon. Again, there are people probably watching here with small accounts thinking to themselves, "Oh, Mark, I can't trade Amazon. I have a small account." Tell that to the people with $2,000 accounts who, tripled their money on Amazon. Tell that to the person who messaged me over $100,000 P&L on Friday trading Amazon on the VWAP reversal. Tell it to that person. You do not need a lot of money if you are an options trader trading this name. So what I'm going to do is just going to lower my face here a little. And I'm going to explain to you the VWAP reversal. Actually, I don't even want to show you all my technical parameters because that'll be confusing. I actually just want to do it on a chart that has nothing but maybe some of my trend lines over here. But yeah, screw it. Let's get rid of the Amazon trend lines. There you go. Nice and clean for you. See, I'm going to redraw my trend lines just for you. I'm just so it's not confusing, just so there's nothing on the chart that you don't need over here. And if you like the fact that I did that, slap the like button right now. It means a lot to me. Again, I don't monetize these videos, but um, it motivates me and it lets me know that you like what we're doing here, and I'll continue and do my absolute best to provide you content that you enjoy. Okay, let's go right over here. And I want to explain the VWAP reversal and exactly how it works, what a good loss on the VWAP reversal looks like, how I approach it, where's your take profit target, and again, take profit target is people will usually say that that's a good thing, a take profit target. You have to realize everything has its pros and cons. Like if you're up money on something and the market starts dropping, you want to hold it because you didn't get stopped out yet, that's a very bad thing. The truth is, I rarely get stopped out of a trade. I will usually sell before where my dead bottom stop limit is, and I'll usually sell on the flip side, just being fair and open and honest. I'll sell before my full take profit target hits. A lot of times I'll leave a runner on, but let's go ahead and explain it here. All right, so let's talk about some rules, and we're going to share this slide with Newsbeat Live members. And if you're watching, you're not in the Newsbeat Live room, just feel free to screenshot after I'm done, okay? So I have no way to obviously contact you and send you the slide, but okay. So step one, VWAP reversal only starts after 9:40 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Do I have to type out Eastern Standard Time in case people don't understand what EST is? So this is a 5-minute chart. So just again, you could probably see right over here, 5-minute chart. And again, just excuse me as I baby step it because by explaining every single step, even if there's one step that you didn't understand that it clicks in, I'm going to help you. So I'm trying to go through every single step possible so there's absolutely no confusion for everyone. So 5-minute chart, and this is going to bring you value whether you're in the room or not. You'll get a lot more value inside the room, obviously, utilizing this. We're on a 5-minute chart. So the VWAP reversal only starts after the first 10 minutes. And I need to point out something very clear. um, tips. Um, this VWAP is on TC2000, which is again identical to freestockcharts.com. This VWAP is on TC2000. Other charting systems may have different levels for VWAP. Okay, I just want to point that out. Um, I just want to point that out because the truth is, some people are using, Mark, I use Think or Swim charts or this or this. How do I get the same settings? And the truth is, I don't know because on the default setting here, like if I just left click it and hit edit, it just says data source price history plot. It doesn't give me any parameters. So look, I'll even remove the VWAP here, that orange line. Look, I'll click add and let me just move my mug. And I'll just literally, again, just look, clicking this green plus sign here, and I'll just scroll to the bottom, and it's just something here that says VWAP, and I'll click it, and it'll just automatically appear. It's default, it's standard. That's the only VWAP I can attest to because it's the only one I'm using. Some people say I have the same exact VWAP. Some people are like, Mark, I have different ones. That's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so back to this. So right over here at the close of this bar, 940 ends. So 940 ends or begins, whatever, 9:40 a.m. So in English, I'm only looking forward from this point. So step one, VWAP reversal only starts after 9:40 a.m. So waiting for 9:40 a.m. is honestly the first step. Remember, you have to be on a 5-minute chart, and I am referring, whether your VWAP is the same or different, I am referring to the VWAP on TC2000. So let's just be clear about that. I've heard people say I have different VWAPs, but it still works. Again, I can't attest to things I do not know, but I am sharing that information with you. Okay, so step two is step two is on the open on the candlestick you're trading on. You want to see the stock go higher above the prior 5-minute candle high. And they'll stick your watching, let's call it, not trading on. Some people might be like, how do you trade on a candlestick? I trade on a software. Honestly, I don't want any confusion. So this is my new way of explaining it. And again, I might do more videos like this. But so literally, on the candlestick you're watching, you want to see the stock go higher than the prior 5-minute candle. So for example here, you want to see, let's do it in blue. For example, you want to see this candlestick break. You want to see this candlestick break right over here. You want to see this candlestick break out through the top of that blue line. Never happened. You want to see this candlestick. After this candlestick doesn't break, you want to see this candlestick break above this blue line right here. Never happens. On this candlestick, you want to see this blue line break, and it finally happened here. So just so you know, this is where the break occurred. So some people got confused with the verbiage, the break. I refer to break as the candlestick going through the top of a prior candlestick high. So right over here, VWAP activated because the fifth 5-minute candle here rose above the prior 5-minute candle high. All right. Maybe I'll just stretch it out to the right. All right. So the VWAP activated right here because this green candle, we'll call this the activation candle, broke through the prior 5-minute high. So the prior 5-minute candle high The prior one here was the fourth 5-minute candle. Did that fit? Okay. So the prior one here was the fourth. Oh, my head's blocking it now. So the fourth candle here. So look, so let me just I'll even label the candles. So this is candle, whoops, let's get a white color here. So hopefully it shines through. Why does it keep switching to blue? Silly, silly, silly. All right, so, all right, so this is candle number 1. This is candle, again, I want no confusion, so I hope you guys can just appreciate that I'm trying to be very, you know, a stickler on every single detail. I don't want anything missed. This is candle number 4. And here's candle number 5. Making sense to you guys so far? Making sense to you guys so far? Okay. So here are the first 5-minute candles. Again, the stock gap down, so like I'm ignoring this. This is yesterday, so let's just put a big red X through it because we're ignoring it. We'll just call that yesterday so there's no confusion. Again, yesterday. So we ignore yesterday's candles. We only focus on, the day of. So step 1 is the VWAP reversal only starts after 9:40 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Step 2, on the candlestick you're watching, you want to see the stock go higher above the prior 5-minute candle. And you might be sitting here thinking like, Mark, I've seen all this stuff, or maybe you haven't seen anyone use the VWAP the way I use it, but people use the VWAP, forever now. People use moving averages forever now. If you want to know what makes my strategies different, my strategies are back tested in the current environment. I want to know what's working now so I could capitalize on it tomorrow. For me, talking to you about an education course that I created 10 years ago is not going to bring you value. When people ask me about my book, Scalping for a Living, what is the first thing I tell all you guys when you ask me about my book? What's the first thing I say? Don't buy it. It's useless because it was meant, don't read it. It was created for a time that's not today. Back in the day, it was an awesome way to make money. This strategy that I'm showing you here, is it going to last a month, a year, 2 years, 3 years, a day? I don't know. But as soon as it stops working, I'll go to another strategy. So it's never about being a one-trick pony. I think it's about being a constantly evolving one-trick pony in the current environment you're in. Now, granted, I use more strategies than just the VWAP reversal. I do have a small arsenal of strategies that I do execute upon here. But the point is this strategy is working now. And I am 100% sure that one day in the future, this strategy will not work anymore with the type of hit rate per se that I'm getting. And I can accept that. I don't take it as an attack on myself. So instead of peddling the same old, strategy over and over, you need a new strategy that changes with the market. So you have two options, what most gurus do. And again, I was this person, so don't think that I'm calling out anyone. But what I see on Wall Street now, what people do is they'll create a strategy. They might have made money on it and they've done well with it. The strategy starts becoming less and less effective after a year, less and less effective, and then all of a sudden they become educators. Then all of a sudden they become, they write trading courses of how they made their money using that strategy. And that's how they make money again on the strategy by actually selling it. Please keep in mind that I am actually not selling you this. I just want you to be successful. These strategies for me, I think you're doing yourself if you're not in the room with us, I think honestly you're doing yourself a huge disservice. Some people can't be in the room with us for whatever reason. Some people, like there's somebody who told me, they reached out to me like, Mark, I'm a rocket scientist over at NASA. They don't allow you to log in to T3 Live's website on NASA, but now I have you on my phone, so maybe I could listen in on my phone. thanks to the new T3 Live app. Awesome job, T3. And there are people who approach me like that. So this is for people like that who can't, or for whatever reason, can't be there and really want to learn the market. So step 5 is the activation candle. So let's just go ahead and just write it in here. So step 3. Whoa, why is it yellow? Step 3, buy on candlestick number 5 when it is trading at the high of candlestick 4. Okay. So basically, on candlestick 3, please know, I did not know if candlestick 3 was going to break candlestick 2. The truth is, if it did, I usually like to do buy and pullbacks or whatever. I would have been buying at the day highs of Amazon for a move higher. If candlestick number 3 broke candlestick number 2, let's be perfectly clear. It didn't. Okay, how about candlestick 4? Were you able to go through the high of candlestick 3? No? No problem. Okay, candlestick 5. Were you able to go through the candlestick number 4? Perfect. You're in. And when you're sitting there as an option trader, I'm going to log in my software. It usually takes a little longer to log in Schwab over the weekend for, I guess they don't have all their servers running or whatever the reason. So I'm going to try to log in my software and just literally, oh, I got in right away. Psh, what am I talking about here? What am I talking about here? Okay. Just let the silly load-in screens happen. Beautiful. All right, let's go right into my live trading software here. So I just want to show you what's happening on my end while this chart is moving. I'll have Amazon up, for example. Let's say, I'll choose my strike this whole time. So let's say I'm looking at, and honestly, if you're looking for a quick trade, to me, I don't understand the Greeks. It's kind of funny. People like, Mark, you make millions of dollars, trading options, but like you don't even understand what delta is, theta, beta, weta, gata, leta, stata, meta, theta, bouncer, whatever. I'm like, no, I don't. But that's ignorance. I think it's a great idea to learn those things. I am the most ignorant, successful option trader you'll ever meet in your life. Why? Because I believe in simplicity and stupidity. I treat options the same way I do common stock. So instead of just buying common shares, I'll just buy options and sell them. That's all I'm doing. I know. Did you know that Mark did not know the option Greeks? I'm not proud of it. It's ignorance. That's what it is. But if it works, right? So I'm telling you, you don't really need to understand. Options are not options are as complex as you want them to be. There's some phenomenal complex option strategies out there. I respect it. They work. I'm just telling you what I do. So right here, let's say as you were watching Candlestick 3, you were looking to buy 1740 calls in Amazon. Now, granted, these calls are trading a lot higher now because Amazon shot up through the ceiling. So obviously you'll see them higher here, but just for the sakes of example, because Amazon is trading at 1761, it dropped after hours with the Microsoft contract. So this whole time, what I'll do is I'll choose an amount of contracts I want to buy. And again, these contracts, 1740 calls, I believe at the time we were watching it as they activated were like $2 or like $1.50 a contract or 150 to 200 bucks. So yeah, if you had like 150, 200 bucks, you could have bought Amazon. You could have bought an Amazon call. So I'm right on my calls here. You see calls 1740. The expiration would have obviously been for last week, not November 1st, which it changed to. And you would just set the amount you want to buy. So let's say you want to buy 20 contracts. I put in a market order. And my finger is on the buy token button. So as this is going down here and I'm waiting and I'm literally watching the level 2. So what I'm watching here is, I know it's not populated now because it's Sunday, but I'm literally watching this, the leftmost box, which is the common stock price with the bid and offer column, while my finger is over here on the buy to open while I'm waiting for the candlesticks to close. So for example, back to Amazon here, when this candlestick closed, I saw the high of this candle, you can see in the top left, 1729.80. So what I do is as soon as I look at the chart, I look back at the stock here, my fingers on the buy to open button with the market order, with my desired size and everything, with the strike, with the expiration I'm ready for, and my fingers on the button. And as soon as I see this stock go above 1729.80 within the next 5 minutes, of course, I get ready to buy. And if it does, click, I'm in. Oh, look, my P&L popped. I'm out. You want to leave a runner? Maybe, maybe not. Who cares? You're up money. Isn't that the point of trading? You know, if I ask people if you want to trade for a living, most people are like, yeah, I want to trade for a living. Why on earth are you trading like you want to retire next week? I didn't make no $100,000 on Amazon. Who cares? I'm proud of the person who did, don't get me wrong. But, like, honestly, like, who cares? So this bar closes. Again, just showing you. Bar number 3 closes. It never gets above 1729.80, meaning bar number 3 never got above bar number 2. So what I do is I move my eyes back to the chart here, and I'm looking at bar number 4 right over here. Now it has to get above 1721.72. If I need to adjust the contract I want to buy as a result, I can. At this point, you know, the stock opened up right over here at the top right here, and I'm looking for, again, candlestick number 4 to go through candlestick number 3. And again, that level, just to show you, is 1721.72. So now my eyes are focused right over here on that leftmost box. I'm looking to see the bid go above the offer. I'm looking to see the offer disappear because it's earning. So maybe I'll just look for the offer of 1721 and change whatever just to disappear. And as soon as that happens, my finger is on the buy button. Click, I'm in. Okay, Mark, it didn't happen over here. No problem. I'm now looking at this candlestick right here to break through 1713.19. Right? No problem. So now I'm looking for candlestick 5 to break through 4. And the top of candlestick 4 right here is $1,713.19. And again, I'm using Amazon as the example here. There are many more examples that work. There are fewer more examples that do fail. But I'm just showing you this as an example. Okay? All right. So 1713.19 is the level. And I'm just sitting there looking at this stock to go through 1713.19. And as soon as I see 1713.19, either click off on the offer, especially on an earnings day, I'm just going to simply click in. And I'm just simply going to mark it in option calls. And look how beautiful if you did that. You see, I don't even care. Like, you guys are looking like, oh my God, look at that run. That's so amazing. You think I care about that? You think that means anything to me? It doesn't. Want to know what means something to me? That means something to me. If you want to keep it more safe, all you needed, honestly, was this. Oh, my head's in the way. This is all you needed in Amazon. That. Mark, it only went up $4 and about 60 cents, $4.59. Yeah, your calls could have popped up, you know, the calls I was watching went up a couple points. $2. A little more, $2 and change, but you could have made a couple points. What's wrong with that? And if you held it 5 minutes longer, it went even higher. 5 minutes longer, even higher. Longer, higher, higher, higher. Maybe you left a little runaround. Maybe you bought 5 contracts and you held one for this move up here. And you watched your calls explode through the ceiling as you are the person buying Amazon. And yeah, you know, magical fairy here. If you, you know, twinkled some fairy dust in your option position exploded through the ceiling, God bless you. You know, that's you. That's not me. Yeah, maybe sometimes I could leave like a little runaround, but I'm not holding 100% of my position for that. Kidding me? That's how I remain consistent. People are like, how do you bat in the 80s? How do you do this so well? This is how I do it so well. So I just thought that you would like to see that. Again, definitely watch the video I did earlier today. I highly recommend it. Here are tomorrow's levels today. They don't always hit, but when they do, I tend to have a pretty consistent time making money buying through support or shorting through resistance or buying calls through support or buying puts through resistance. These are the levels for tomorrow, October 28th. I want to thank the Newsbeat Live members who are just sending me so many of these phenomenal P&Ls, so many success stories here. There was the person you see here with this P&L, very small account, very awesome cost basis to proceeds, definitely doing the right thing. Wrote me an email and showed how he was actually failing in the first 6 months in my service, and then how he turned consistently, and he literally goes through the steps. It was one of the most amazing emails. I go on it, you know, I go through it, and people think people think I could show again emails and texts and whatever people making hundreds of thousands of dollars, but I wanted to show you something that can help you. Somebody who lost dollars consistently with me. He didn't trust me or the strategies. He thought he knew a lot, didn't need much guidance. He cherry picked. He didn't understand sizing, small wins, big losses. And then month 6 to 8, he broke even consistently. Now he's not making money, but he's breaking even, and he's talking about the steps that he's changed. He started trusting me and following me down to details, realizing that he was the only person that he knew that has proven to make money consistently. Started being honest with himself, stopped doubling down, started putting in the time on learning and executing on all my lessons, started putting in the times. Now, month 8 to present, he talks about his priorities and whatnot. It's just a phenomenal turnaround. And I love these stories because they show you people going from zero to hero type mentality. And if that isn't the story that everyone should want to experience as a person who's losing money to making money, I don't know what other story you would like to hear. Slap the like button if you like this video, thumbs it up, leave your comments, let us know how you feel about our content. I hope you guys enjoyed the Newsbeat show. Happy trading, make money. I'll see you guys tomorrow on the Newsbeat live trading broadcast. Keep in mind, there's a ton of links to the earlier video I did, ton of links to everything we have to offer here, from a webinar we're doing this Wednesday. Sign up for the free webinar to just so much more. Links are in the description. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening.